Another edition of the 20. I really appreciate you having here. I want to thank Sasha Sever, who is our musician here. Right on, thanks, Sasha. And I also want to thank George for hosting his listing here. Gorgeous property. I'm sure we'll have multiples on it for you. A couple days, no pressure. Yeah, all right. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Bill Butler with Remax Heritage. We started this group called the 20. It's a new kind of networking mastermind group that I wanted to start, whose purpose is to bring together the best agents in the Boston metro area. So we could, obviously network, exchange business building strategies and whatnot to fulfill our lives and our businesses. I named the group the 20 based upon the Pareto principle or law of the vital few, which states that for many agents, roughly, or for many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. And not only do we want to represent the top 20% of our craft, but our goal here is to focus on maximizing the 20% of activity that yields 80% of our business, right? Customer service, lead generation, follow-up, closing systems and strategies. So that's what we're about. We've got a great panel today. I want to thank Chris Callahan from Prospect Mortgage. Finding all the goods for us today, Chris.
My pleasure. I know many of you, some I don't, have been in the mortgage financing business for over 30 years. So I'm in it for the long haul, just like all of you. Prospect is in Wakefield. The great thing about why I chose it is that we do everything under one roof, which is unusual in this market. We underwrite, we process, we draw docs. I can always get my hand on the loan file and talk to an underwriter if there's any kind of quirky, special situation which I think we're all running into these days. And just to note, because rates have been up and now they are back down, and I think that there is a lot of buzz about that. The 30-year fixed rate is down to about 4.5% again with no points. It was up over 5. That's triggered by so many factors, nowadays, and that's the thing with the economy and with the mortgage market and why it's so sensitive. Every Tuesday you get consumer price index. Every Wednesday you get core inflation figures. Every Thursday you get the jobs report, how many jobs were created. Every Friday you get unemployment. Every time one of those numbers comes out, it affects the market every day. So it is you really have to stay on top of it. It used to be we got figures once a month, rates change once a month. Not anymore. But the good news is that rates are down. I think they're going to be down at least for the rest of the year. With the situation in Greece, with the situation in Japan, still trying to get settled. So, I wouldn't. It's always nice to have that sense of urgency and be able to create that with buyers that are kind of sitting on the fence and sellers that aren't quite sure the timing is right. The timing is perfect. In 30 years, we call this the perfect storm. Low rates, good value. It's a marriage made in heaven for real estate. So just keep that in mind. Thank you for coming. I know you'll enjoy the program with the panelists.
Thanks, Chris. So speaking of 80-20 and 80%, 20%, speaking of those percentages, we're extremely lucky to have an extreme version here of the vital few with us today. It's funny, we ran the numbers. If the 3 agents here, were an office just to themselves, they would rank in the top 1.5% of all offices in the Commonwealth in terms of production. Unbelievable. Don't get any ideas.
Already been discussed.
So without further ado, let's introduce our lead panel today, who last year alone represent 219 sites, over $102 million in sales, top 10 production nationally for the last 5 years for GMAC Real Living. Wow. Featured speaker at RE/MAX National Convention and broker owner of recently named 2011 Boston Business Journal's top 10 best places to work. And just since 2006, a newbie, a top 2% national producer for NRT at Cobalt Bank. George Shine, Stephen McKenna, and